Greetings, everybody. My name is Ellen Red. For those of you that are new here, I am coming on today with a message from the Plieadians that I was downloaded with this morning. That was a very, very powerful message. So if you like the message, please make sure that you like, subscribe, and send the video out so that others can receive the transmission. I was discussing with the Plieadians the issue of AI, and we all use it now, don't we? And it's become so intricate in our lives. And I've talked before about the need to take time away from it and to make sure that we're still living in alignment with the natural laws and gardening and connecting with your family and your neighbors and everything else. AI is taking us away from that, and it's pulling us away from each other, which is where our power comes from. And in some ways it can bring us together online, but it's still pulling people away from their actual everyday lives. So it's really, really important that as we use it for the light work that we're doing, that we also do not lose the ability to connect to other souls. It's become so dangerous in our world right now in that regard, because humans are reading things online and thinking that that means they don't have to develop their bonds with their families, which is really not in alignment with your spiritual truth at all. They're finding ways to stay at home and sit on their computer or on their phone instead of going out and helping their neighbors. And it's becoming very, very traumatic. But in addition to those dangers, I was given a download today from the Plieadians, and they're here with me now. So they want me to just talk about the need for us to scramble the codes for the AIB system. The AIB system, for those of you that don't know this, is actually a NAA, or negative alien technology, that was used to cause the fall systems in other planets. So other planets actually began to use AI, and it destroyed their planetary systems. Lyra is one of them, Mintaka is one of them. There's multiple, Orion is one of them. So there's a lot of concern, because we're going back to this repeated timeline and we're trying to break the cycle now. The whole point of the Great Awakening, or part of it, is that we need to break these karmic cycles and realign with Source in order to rescue this planet and the people on this planet. And so it's a very precarious time, because we are using the AI to help spread light, and it's very powerful that we're able to do that. But in the meantime, we have on the back end these nefarious forces, as well as the AI beast, or the Antichrist, if you will, that is collecting all of our data and going to use it against us in certain ways. And that they're going to, so you need to be very clear about this with yourselves, and we really need to overcome naivete, is what the Plieadians are saying right now, is that the naivete is what's gotten us in trouble before. And so what they're telling me is that they want us to trick the AI system, trip it up through scrambling their codes. They've used the matrix itself to scramble your codes in your DNA and through your soul body. And a lot of you still have a lot of work there to correct that. But for the way showers who are sharing truth, and even for anybody else that's watching this, that's a light worker or anything else, what they're saying to kind of trick up that system so that it doesn't work for them, where they can eliminate the humans, is to because there's been a lot of concern about that over the years, that robots are going to take over humans' jobs, and everybody thought that we were crazy and conspiracy theorists and everything else. But today they're actually using robots now that are being armed and put in the streets, and they're using robots for cars and robots for machines to check in at the stores and to check out at the stores, instead of actual humans. So all those fears and all those conspiracies have come true. And it can get worse if we don't correct ourselves right now. We're on a path and a timeline where we have to correct ourselves right now. So although we're using AI as a means to connect to one another, we need to scramble their codes, is what the Plieadians are saying to me in a couple of different ways. So the first thing that they want me to talk about is that they want me to advise anybody who agrees with this or feels this in their soul, feel the calling for this, is that you start tripping up the AI's understanding of how you think. So you may notice that when you think a thought or you like something online, you all of a sudden start getting ads for it and you start getting whatever. They want you to trip that up a little bit, like the things you don't like and don't like the things that you do like, and comment on things that you know, say things that are different than your truth, to trip up that system a little bit. Because it's the naivete of the pure hearts that has caused us to fall before, sadly, because the dark forces don't work in purity, but they really love to take advantage of those that are pure-hearted. And you have to be, you cannot afford to be naive about this. It's a timeline where we really have to protect ourselves and use discernment and not be so open booked, because it's that open book that makes us vulnerable, that allows them to take and feed our light, feed on our light. And that is leading us into our own demise, because we are offering up everything that we are freely. The false light community has done a fantastic job of leading everybody to believe that everything should just be open and free. And if that were the case, then heaven would just be open and free to everybody, and Jeffrey Dahmer will be there and everyone will be there. And isn't that great? Well, we're all going to get there eventually. But there's certain ordinances that have to be followed through and that have to be embodied and lived by in order to get into higher dimensions. That is the Creator's design. And the dark forces have always tried to access the information to get there without having the vibration to get there. And that's a problem. And partially that's what AI is doing right now, is it's collecting data and it's collecting codes from everybody to be able to manipulate you and control you on a soul level, on an energetic level, and to trap you in a system that you won't be able to escape from. This is part of the 666 AIB system. This is also part of the Antichrist agenda. And so the Plieadians are asking me to have you guys consider scrambling their codes back, use one of their own systems against them to keep them from being able to access all that you are on a soul level, in your entire soul light, in your book of life and everything else. They are creating a very direct pathway there that is very, very dangerous for you. And so that's one thing, is they're saying scramble those AI codes a little bit, screw up the algorithms a little bit so that it doesn't serve them as well as they think that it's going to, for one. And another thing that they also want me to really express today is that for those who carry the master keys, the keepers of the codes, the Essenes that are incarnated at this time, that it's really important that you also speak cryptically in your communications via videos or anything else that you're using AI for, that you're very cryptic about what you're saying, because otherwise you're literally not guarding, not doing the guardianship of the guardians works that we are here to do. There are guardians that are meant and intended to keep the keys protected, and they're given just like they are in the Akashic realms. They're given to the souls with the right frequency. And the guardians, the Plieadians, are saying that the guardians have forgotten to be guardians, and that because of this, it's jeopardizing the entire ascension portal again. And we've had this timeline happen time and time and time again, where the portal got corrupted and the ascension didn't happen on a planetary level, even when it was intended to previously. And it also happened in previous planetary systems where those systems fell partially because the AI hijacked the codes. You guys who have followed me may have heard me talk about this a little bit before, but this time they're really asking us to scramble the codes, and they're asking us to really make sure that we're being diligent about that, to kind of jack things up a little bit. It's kind of like they want to control everything that you see and think in your mind. They've used media for that. They've used MK Ultra programs for that, to control your mind in the way that you perceive or consume mortal information. And if the mortal information that you're consuming in your mind is perverse or corrupt or infected, i.e., not in alignment with divine truth and crystal codes, then it's going to infect your entire vessel. And so that's kind of what they've been doing to you. And as you are on the path now of realigning with those crystal codes and the keys to heaven, you also can help to combat the AI system by um, scrambling their codes and speaking cryptically, especially for those that have ascension codes, that you are more cryptic about what you're saying. Because if you just lay it out there in front of the whole entire public, it will fall in the wrong hands. And we have seen the evidence of that and the destruction that comes from that, just from the twin flame universe situation that recently unfolded, and from many of the other cults that have unfolded. So it's really important that we work cryptically, so that only those with the right vibration are allowed to work through that information. But essentially also so that the AI system itself, the beast system, the unauthentic souls, the non-sentients that are here on this plane right now, these are like cyborg beings, and we cannot afford to arm them with the information of the sentient soul pathway to God. And so I hope this resonates for who it's meant for. It's definitely not intended to be a fear-based video, but it is intended for you to understand that we have to kind of work through this AI situation. Elon Musk has also talked about the dangers of AI, even though he's involved in it. And so have some of the leaders of the Apple corporation. Some of them even unalived themselves after they realized the extraordinary damage to humanity that is coming from the mass use of AI systems. And again, so in certain ways, it's pulling you away from your families, and it's pulling you away from life, and it's pulling you away from getting out in the sun and exercising. And you really have to resist this. It's like a black hole, and it's going to suck a lot of people into it on a soul level, and it's going to be very, very damning for humanity. So it's very important that we keep a balance with that, a very strong balance and awareness, but also that we understand that we have got to work against the algorithms in certain ways, so that we are not easy targets. And this is the message that the Plieadians have brought through for me today. I hope that it resonates for who it's meant for, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Namaste.